Kerbell Box Fitness Elite. One of the most daunting things when you first join a boxing gym is not knowing what the hell to do. You walk in, not knowing what equipment to have, not knowing how to wrap hands, what kind of gloves to get, what kind of boots to get. So we're going to start a little video series on things you can do to research beforehand. And one of the most important things is wrapping hands. Myself and my good man Charlie, we're going to show you two different variations of how to wrap hands. You can typically buy 2 metre to 4.5 metre wraps. I generally use a 4.5 metre. They offer a little bit more protection, a little bit safer around the hands and the joints. Okay, so I'll show you first. This is Adidas, the AIBA standard for amateur boxing. So we're going to unwrap the wrap, and we're going to start. You've got a loop here. We're going to put the thumb through the hole, and we're going to wrap over the back of the wrist. Maybe about 2 or 3 times. So I'm going 3 times, then I'm going to wrap around the thumb to provide a little bit of protection for the thumb before going over the back of the hand. Now the mistake people make here is they pull this too tight, which crunches up the hand like so. You really want the hand as flat as possible. So this part, you absolutely just put it over there like that without pulling it tight. Again, 2 or 3 times. Keeping the hand splayed, plenty of gap between the fingers, before going back to the wrist on the 4th time. I wrap around the wrist and I go back over the top through the bottom 2 fingers. I then come around, so if you look at the palm of the hand, around the top, and then bring it back down, much like an X shape. Wrap around the wrist again, and then through the middle 2. Again round the hand, and then through the final 2 fingers. Now the benefit of wrapping through the fingers is you keep the metacarpals in the hand separated rather than being crunched up. And then finally around 1, 2 or 3 times before going back round towards the wrist and wrapping around the forearm to complete it, making a secure wrap. That's one way to wrap a hand. The other way my man Charlie here is going to show you. He's wrapping around his fingers 3 or 4 times. 5. In fact, Charlie, you narrate it.
Yeah. Wrap it around the hand 5 times. Use it as like a little bit of protection there. And go over the top of it to secure it in place. And underneath the bottom of it as well. And then round the wrist 3 times. And I'll go around the thumb. Back round the wrist once. Then I'll go up through the fingers here. Same way as Kev showed it with the X. And do that through all the fingers. And then once I've got through the last finger, wrap it around the fingers twice. And then come down, finish the rest off at the wrist.
As you can see by that, offers sturdy protection on the forearm. The wrap through the fingers, keeping the metacarpals separated. Plenty of protection around the radial and ulnar bone. As with anything, it takes practice. We've shown 2 ways here how to wrap hands. You can follow this, pause the video, slow it down to get any problems. In fact, just drop me a message. There's various other ways that you may not find what we've shown here suits you. There's plenty more instructions up on YouTube. Some are good, some are bad. My advice to you would be to practice, research,